Alright guys, let's talk about the Morrigan, the fierce Irish goddess of war. Some terms for you. We'll mention them a couple of times going through this. Didn't want anybody to get lost in the sauce, so they're there for you. The Morrigan, she's a triple goddess. That's normally associated with the mother, maiden, and crone aspect, which is traditionally infused with nurture and wisdom and all of that. Not really the Morrigan style. You'll see what I'm talking about. So first aspect of her is Bob. Bob is considered the crone or the hag. Courtney Weber wrote a book called The Morrigan, Celtic Goddess of Magic and Might. She is who I'll be referencing the most, but her stuff is extremely good. So Bob is considered a goddess and a witch. Her name literally means fighting lady. She's also known as the Battle Crow. She's a force of destruction and an entity of death, battle, and victory. She instilled this confusion and fear in the enemies to the point that it would cause them to become insane. She predicted the outcome and the horrors of the pending wars, and she escorted the souls of the fallen to the underworld. She's also associated with the Banshee, which you can check out in the terminology as to what I'm talking about there. Maka was considered the maiden. She was the warrior and a goddess and a goddess of the land and sovereignty. Courtney Weber describes her as being a fury that riots and revels among the slain. She was very vengeful when she was wronged. She would fight those that underestimated her solely because of her gender. Naaman was considered the mother. She was a war goddess. She brought about chaos and frenzy. She would help the favored secure victory by imparting this fear into the enemy. And it was so profound that armies that were even friendly with each other would slaughter one another during battle. The crow or the raven. They're often used interchangeably when associated with the Morrigan. They're seen in post-battle. They're carrion birds. They like to eat the flesh off the bones of those that have died. They're extremely intelligent. They've been known to hold grudges against people that have harmed them or theirs. They learned what battle formations looked like and would start flying overhead prior to the battles, just waiting on their upcoming meals. They're also associated with being prophetic because it's said that they can predict nature and upcoming disasters, and people interpret that based on their behaviors. So the Morrigan herself. Her mythology is extremely complex, and the tales in it are extremely conflicting. You kind of have to dig to see what actually relates. She's a triple goddess, like we talked about. She's the goddess of war and death. She was feared, but also respected because she was the goddess of war, fate, death, victory, sovereignty, magic. She was cunning and would plot, but she was extremely vengeful. She also had many other titles: Phantom Queen, Great Queen, Queen of Nightmares. She was a shapeshifter, the most common being the crow or the raven, the eel, cattle, wolf, or a beautiful but deadly woman. Think femme fatale. She would heal the wounds of those that she protected, that were her favored after battle. She only works in absolutes. There is no reading between the lines with her. She is black or white, 0 shades of gray. She's prophetic in all things that include strife and war. And fun fact, she's rarely depicted actually using weapons or having weapons in the mythos. She's normally depicted with 2 handfuls of blood, suggesting that she herself is the weapon. So I wouldn't necessarily consider her good or evil. She doesn't really fit into either of those categories. I would consider more her more morally ambiguous. She breaks the rules and the assumptions of what a female is because she does things that men do, stealing cattle, engaging in combat. She doesn't like condescension and she doesn't apologize. She has zero mercy. And she doesn't break rules just to. She does question them, though. Some of my works for you guys, just in case you want to take a look. And then lastly, some of the steps through my process for my creative project. And full final video for you guys to take a look at the sculpture I did. I did the raven sitting on a tree overlooking a battlefield post-battle. So take a look at it. Let me know what you think. Have a great day.